Peace, y'all. Kimmy here. Just wanted to build with my brothers and sisters on a topic today about schizophrenia, right? And it's just my spirit led me to demonstrate on this particular topic simply because, I know a lot of you may have family members or friends or just people that you know that's, dealing with the diagnosis of schizophrenia. A lot of people don't know what it is and where it come from, and I just wanted to give you the spiritual breakdown of what it is, so we can tackle this issue together on how to help our brothers or sisters who are dealing with this, okay? And what led me to demonstrate on this is the simple fact that I have an uncle that's been dealing with this so-called illness for a long time. I've actually witnessed him going off the deep end. And I was like 9 years old, and my mom, my brother, and me, we were coming home one day, and it was like probably early in the morning, and like I seen him like walking down the sidewalk in our neighborhood, and he was just flipping out, like in a way that I've never seen him. Now, generally when my uncle is stable, like I'm not sure if he was on meds or anything like that, but basically from what I understand is that he became that way after my grandmother passed from him, and that was long before I was even born. She passed from him back in the 70s. However, on this particular day when I seen my uncle in flip mode, he had, like, I guess it would be a dog, a raccoon. It was some type of freaking animal, and he was eating it. Not cooked, but just gutting it open. And, I know that wasn't my uncle, and I've always wanted to be able to help him or anybody else like this. So, my spirit just led me to ask about this because I was on Netflix last night and I peeped this movie that said Call Me Crazy, right? And it's like a 5-film movie on the lives of different families who are dealing with family members with schizophrenia or bipolar schizophrenic or whatever they want to call it, right? So it's characterized by hallucinations, visual and auditorial, and delusions, right? So basically what I did research on, I learned that there were 5 subtypes of schizophrenia. You have paranoid, you have disorganized, catatonic, what is the other one, residual, and undifferentiated, or whatever, so these subtypes differ due to the behavior of the individual. Some physical causes they claim is vitamin B deficiency, especially with niacin. So them having a proper diet will also help to aid in building up their defenses. The voices in their heads is not something that they're hallucinating. It's not a dream. It's not something that they just decided to conjure up and call it, oh, I just hear voices inside my head, or I see something over there. What's that? And they're freaking out. They actually do see these things, and yes, they actually do hear them. Sometimes it could be one voice, sometimes it could be many voices. However, we need to stop calling these people crazy because they're not crazy. And a lot of people that I've witnessed with schizophrenia are more intelligent than the average person. Basically they are hearing the voices of departed spirits, departed human spirits that are either earthbound or, immediate vicinity of the earth, basically. So, another thing is that the spirits may have not descended, and a lot of that are due to the type of energy that they carried while they was here on earth. We got to keep in mind that when a spirit pass form, they don't turn into no freaking saint or no angel. If they was evil-minded on earth, they're going to be evil-minded when they descend. And there are a lot of souls still trapped on this earth plane. And, they didn't go into neither the darkness or the light. And a lot of them don't transcend generally because they wish to still be in the manifest. They look for different ways to manifest because they want to still be a part of this, illusion. And it can be trying, but one thing I did learn that a lot of the main reasons they have opportunity to embark on these people has a lot to do with their the weakness of the spirit. The weakness of our own individual spirits. Like, whether it's a departed soul energy or demonic energy, our defenses is brought down when our spiritual aura is brought down. A lot of ways, like if we're habitually smoking and drinking and we don't have a good diet like that, we actually set ourselves up for spiritual attacks, basically. And I know on other videos you've heard me tell you that your ancestors or, departed loved ones, things of that nature, they go inside you, when they pass form. And, like reading up on this just made me clarify a lot. You know what I'm saying? This is why if they be like, oh, this person crazy, or they talking to themselves, like I tune in. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't back away from them, or try to be fearful of them. I literally tune in because I've always known ever since I was a little girl that, these people are thought to be crazy, and then they get 302, as they say in Philadelphia, or, they get placed in mental hospitals and things of that nature, and they're being medicated. I've seen a lot of people that come out of prison, that are, and my cousin is one of them, took that medicine, right? I'm gonna give you the science on this. You're gonna be like, dang. Okay, so I have a cousin, he's a twin, right? He went to prison. He was, he was always crazy or whatever because, he wanted to snort cocaine and just be wild. He was trigger happy. Now that right there is due to straight up conditioning of just being an Asiatic, period. Just straight up conditioning, right? But when he went into the prison, I have two cousins that did this and an uncle. This one I'm like, if you have a relative or a friend and they go to jail or whatever, tell them do not take them crazy meds. Because what it does is it breaks down your defenses to open yourself up to these entities to come in and pretty much take over. Like I said, these are evil spirits that pass form. They were human at one time and they wish to manifest. So if your spiritual defenses are broken down, right, they will live inside you and utilize you. You know, some of these people start stabbing themselves or acting out in violent ways because they are being instructed by the spirits that are talking to them inside their head. You know, like I told you on other occasions, this is how I know that they do this, because when I talk to my past relatives, you know, that haven't fully departed, you know, I can hear them. You know, I've heard them talk to me, and I know I ain't freaking crazy. You know, like, I'm very intelligent, very sane. You know, but that's how you communicate with spirits. You know, when you have a certain guard down, to talk to them. Now, if you're a spiritual practitioner, of course you know how to ward off, you know, evil energy that's not serving a purpose in your life. Okay? So definitely learn how to do that for yourself. Keep your own spiritual defenses up. A lot of people who also go through this or are, you know, labeled schizophrenic or whatever, they have embarked on their spirituality too soon. You know, when you're caught in religion and you're told to think one way or another, and you're being fear mongered, you know, things of that nature. This is why I cannot stand fear mongering. You know, generally, because when everybody is going to wake up, not, well, I'm going to say everybody, but generally, a lot of people are going to awaken to a certain level of consciousness, right? But Noble Drew Ali has said it best. You cannot feed a baby meat, or else they're going to choke on it. You know, if this is why you're never supposed to force certain information on people unless they consciously ready. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of people are so-called going crazy, because they've embarked on something that they really didn't know that they were ready for. You know, when you coming into a new level of consciousness, it's something that you want to ease into. And while you're easing into this level of consciousness, you want to definitely take your time. You know, rush, you know. But we do need to raise our consciousness. But you can't force it on everybody. You know, if a person is dogmatic, I say let them. You know what I'm saying? Because they not ready. Everybody is not ready for truth. And we've been told so many lies that the truth, people fear it, or they despise it, or whatever the case may be. So you can't just randomly just spoon feed somebody some information because you're awakened. You know, because that could drive a person nuts or whatever, you know. But overall, yes, these people do see the spirits, and these spirits can show them things that nobody else can see. You know, another thing is that they have like now, you know, through meditation you can open up your third eye, and you know, you can train to be, you know, some people are naturally clairaudient, some people are naturally clairvoyant, you know, so some people are naturally like telepathic, and so they hear these spirits. Now, when I read the article up on it, right, you could tell these people are still some type of Christian-y minded people, because they was like, no, don't meditate, or no, don't discover yourself. You know, you're not going to find any spirituality looking outside of yourself. You have to go within. You have to open up your third eye. But don't open up your third eye to the point where you can't handle it. You know, this is why fear must be removed, because we have to understand that fear in itself is an illusion. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people are set up for these type of things to happen when they scatter everything. You know, I know a lot of women I ain't gonna say a lot, but I know a few women. They scared of everything. Everything, literally. You know, paranoid about everything. You know, scared of death. They scared to go to funerals. They, you know what I'm saying? They scared to go to hospitals. Just scared of every freaking thing. And scared to go to hell. Scared to go to heaven. You know, like, you can't be scared of everything. You know, you have to understand that fear is an illusion, and it will keep you spiritually paralyzed. Okay? And because a person may have embarked on certain information so soon, they let down their spiritual defenses, you know, and they definitely want to find other ways to develop their spirituality, or take their time developing their spirituality. The best help for somebody dealing with schizophrenia is to deal with the voices that they hear and the things that they see. And what drives them nuts or batty or whatever is the fact that they're opened up prematurely and they don't understand what's going on because they have been embarked on by religion. You know, they have not been told how to deal with certain things in life. And it makes it much harder when you have somebody that's dogmatic and don't understand spirituality themselves, you know, or don't understand the occult. You know, I got into the study of metaphysics because I don't like things to be hidden from me. You know, I need to know what's going on. I need to know who doing what so I can better protect myself. You know, but if you have a person in your life dealing with schizophrenia, or dealing with the fact that they hear these malevolent spirits speaking to them, take a spiritual approach. Definitely take a spiritual approach. Get them on a healthy regimen. They want to build up their immune system. They need to, you know, deal with some heavier energies that could rid them of, you know, those voices, those spirits that are there. You know, it's going to take spirituality. I'm looking at this article and this broad talking about where they just need to pray. Pray to who? You know what I'm saying? Like, no. They need to do a little more than prayer. They do need to do some meditations. They do need to block out, you know, not block out. They need to rid themselves totally of fear. The reason why it bothers them so much because they are afraid of something that they don't understand. So you have to give people the understanding. One other article I read about, right here it says another cause may lie in premature exposure of children and young adolescents, overt sexual influence orgies which awaken their generative power. Again, this is an awakening of consciousness or being exposed to something a little too soon. Sometimes you have to wean people off of enslaved mentality. You know, you have to wean people off of conditionings of being degenerates. You know, so if you're a person that's nervous all the time, if you generally paranoid, you know, things of that nature. This is why I stopped smoking weed years ago, because I knew that I was going higher into a different level of consciousness and being artificially high. I didn't want to deal with that because it made me paranoid, and I'm just keeping it real, you know. So I learned as well that you can get that same freaking high by actually going into yourself and developing it spiritually. Like, you spending $5 for a nickel bag on the corner and all you got to do is meditate. Like, chill. You know, like, I'm not paying no dope dealer for nothing. I'm going to get my spirituality on. You know, but you have people, if they telling you not to meditate, they afraid they self. pretty much, and I'm just keeping it real. You know, I had to take this video a little longer because my heart goes out to those families who are seriously dealing with family members with this type of I'm not gonna even call it conditioning. I'm gonna call it more so of a possession, because these spirits, they want to manifest and they want to live up in you so bad, and they love this earth plane that they want to still experience things. And if your spiritual defenses are down, then you give them rulership of your body. Like, they're not even supposed to be in you. They need to go off to where they need to be at and chill, you know. Definitely get you some organite crystals, you know, some black tourmaline, some black obsidian, any type of black crystals. You know, some Himalayan salt crystals will work, you know, to keep these energies away, you know. Teach these people, if you can, if you're on that level, how to build their spiritual defenses up, you know. Like I said, they need to learn how to break away from this fear crap, because it'll keep you stagnant, it'll keep you scared, and then you'll get labeled schizophrenic, you know. I don't even like that word, you know what I'm saying, because you can't label everybody crazy without an underlying reason. There's a reason for everything, you know. Like, some people even go into shock about certain things, you know. A lot of people are not taught, a lot of people are not educated, so when they're exposed to something, it you know what I'm saying, it just messes with them, you know. Everybody can't, like I said, everybody can't be given things too soon, you know. You gotta get a baby the titty, and then get a baby the sippy cup, and then start feeding it little soft baby food, like, or whatever. Get a little baby a little nourishment, nourish your spirit, you know. Graduate to certain levels, you know, and just, ooh, child, like, let me see, what else I seen up on here. Okay, another reason why they saying this is because of overwrought nerves through one-sided intellectual activity may either destroy the brain or weaken the spirit, because these excessive intellectual activities keep the spirit bound, preventing it from awakening and growing strong. So, with that being said, I want to know what type of intellectual that they're talking about. Are they talking about Europeanized education? You know, because spirituality only brings you closer to yourself. So, like I said, I just read up on it, you know, and did some research. But a lot of things that I'm putting two and two together is through spiritual experience, what I've seen with family members going through schizophrenia. And when we know the underlying reason, this is another way for us to be able to help our family to overcome these things. Instead of just running to the doctors and they saying, oh, well, this is what's going on, and, well, here's some medication. No. Okay. I got a sister of mine, right? And she works with herbs. You know, she has herbs that help with this type of thing. And if you have anything dealing with any type of mental illness, she gives you brain food. I'm not sure if many of you have seen the video that I did, but what it does, it helps to cultivate the pineal gland. It helps to stimulate brain waves, all kind of stuff. It's just brain food, period. You know, and it helps to, you know, like, herbs have their magical properties too. You know, so you definitely want to get them on some herbs, something spiritual. You know, something. Get them on a no meat diet for a little while. You know, everybody ain't built to be vegetarian, and half of that stuff is soy. So, you know, you don't want to soy them up so they can be all sensitive, crying and growing boobs that they don't supposed to have, you know, things like that. But what else it says here? Overcultivated intellect. So I guess that would still mean going into higher realms of study without being properly prepared for it. I mean, that makes sense, you know, but I honestly don't think that people should be medicated, you know. It also talks about when your natural defenses are just basically taken down. A lot of people defenses are taken down when they're asleep. You know, this is why when your relatives pass form, they can visit you in dream state. You know what I'm saying? And I also, you know, let my viewers know, or even my personal clients know, to, when you're connecting with your ancestors, to make sure they the ones that you got along with on this plane, that y'all didn't want to tear each other's heads off or things of that nature. But definitely connect with your ancestors. You know, especially like if you're going through mourning and things of that nature, and you don't have an understanding of death, you have your relatives right there trying to speak to you, and they you know, can't speak to you while you're awake. They can only speak to you in dream state. You know, you have a lot of seers that are clairvoyant, clairaudience, clairessence, or whatever. So they can hear and speak to the spirits that you can't, you know. And to some people just have to learn to connect with them, or tell these negative energies. I'm just trying to figure out solutions. You know, like I love solutions. You know, so I don't want people to think that it's okay to just go around calling people schizophrenic and crazy. You know, that's not the case. Pretty much why I did this video. That's why it's elongated, because I want people to understand that these people are not crazy. They know what they're seeing, they know what they're hearing, and it's not a delusion or an illusion. You know, a lot of times, especially like when your diet is off, or let's just say you haven't eaten in a few days, your defenses are, I ain't gonna even call it a defense, but there's a veil that's taken away, that you're able to see more, you're able to hear more, you know. But developing psychic energy, there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm not going to say don't develop your senses. Just make sure that you remove all fear. And I'm going to keep saying it. Remove all fear. Remove all fear. Remove all fear. Fear is going to cripple you. Fear is going to paralyze you. Fear is going to keep you stuck in a loony bin, and you don't have to be there. You know, some of these things are temporary for some people, and they find ways to get help. Some people, it's, you know, they're like that for the rest of their lives, you know, or they go through that for the rest of their lives. The only thing I can think about, really, for real, if you're dealing with evil energies that tell you to kill other people or to do something damaging to yourself, like, they just as bad as a demonic energy. Only thing different is that they were here once upon a time and they departed, and they want to live their life vicariously through you by getting you to do crazy stuff. But I think an exorcism would be fitting more so than some drugs given by the pharmaceuticals, because you don't know what they putting up in that joint, and you don't know if that is what's keeping these people a little, you know, keeping these people like unstable. They say the medication keeps them stable, but I don't believe nothing that comes from the pharmaceutical. If I can't read the ingredient, I don't even, you know, maybe that's an incantation. The word so dead going long, like, I don't know. I just don't trust the pharmaceuticals with none of their stuff. Like, if I got a headache, I meditate, I visualize, like a white light or a healing light or whatever that's taking pain away. So I don't take a lot of drugs. Like, I'm not a drug taker. I'm not a drug user. I just don't play all that. Like, no, I don't want to do nothing that's going to alter me, personally. To each his own, do what you do. Some people feel like they reach their state of consciousness by getting high off of certain drugs or whatever, or hallucinogenics, all I'm saying is, if you do that type of stuff, that's your business. Like, I'm not judging because I don't have no heaven or hell to put you in. I'm just saying that whatever you're experimenting with, you need to make sure that that your spiritual defenses are up to be able to handle certain things. A lot of it comes from, like, a lot of people develop anxiety and deal with the stresses of the world, and this is why we should be educated about spirituality properly. Some people who want to educate you in the spiritual system, they want to charge you like thousands of dollars, and I think that's crazy. The people, to me, that are literally crazy are those dogmatic people that been taught their one world religion, and because you don't believe what they believe in, they think that you insane. No shade with Christians, but Christianity is insanity. Especially when you hear about the stories, and then when you find out the real reason behind them, you start looking at people crazy because they praying to Jesus. Like, you praying to a constellation and some stars. Like, chill. Like, when they talk about Mother Mary, they're not talking about a physical woman that gave birth in that sense. A lot of allegorical reasons could be, like the vaginal opening, the realm of life, like, if you want to take it to that level, it's just so much that we're not being taught, so much knowledge that's being hidden from us. And when we awaken, we're simply pissed off. A lot of us are pissed. Like, dang, these people been lying to me. They need followers and they need money in the church. I'm just keeping it 100. I don't care who don't like it. Do something about it. Whatever. But that's all I have on that, today. But I definitely wanted to touch on it because oh, no, I don't. Here's another reason why they said that this is to be. It said there are cases where the spirit is too weak to change the blood radiation itself, either through weakness or indolence or through some physical ailment which prevents it from being able to bring forth the will to do so. These are then the cases where there insufficient radiation of the blood then prevents the spirit from being able to fully unfold, is what they say, volition or something like that. In such situations, then, since it is weak, another human spirit in the beyond may take out this weak spirit. The rightful owner of the body is then pushed out, and the intruder then starts by making use of the brain. So basically, when they have these people talking inside of them, or these spirits talking inside of them, they're manipulative. They have manipulative manipulators. They manipulate the person into them breaking down their defenses so much until they give up on themselves, and then the other energy, if it's stronger than that person, it takes over, basically. And it says there are other cases where the blood radiation is false, and by this is meant that the particular radiation is not suitable for this particular human being. The blood radiation has changed in such a way that is no longer suitable for the rightful owner of the body. However, such blood radiation may be suitable for another body, human, spirit. and as a result, it pushes aside the rightful owner. Well, they said that already. And owner of the body and manifest. There may be many human spirits involved. I don't think that there are always a human spirit that hasn't passed form involved. A lot of the times, I think they are demonic energies, and we set ourselves up for that sometimes. But like I said, I would never call this a disease. So what we need to do is, like I said, get on a healthier diet. If you drink a lot, if you smoke a lot, it's best that you stop, because it knocks down your aura and your immune system, and it opens you up for these entities to take over. Some people know that, a lot of people don't, and it's best that you not make yourself an easy target. If you're a type of person that deals with anxiety, especially if it's demonic energy, they know how to play on that. And they will use that to their advantage in order to use you. And it can harm you. But I think exorcisms may help this situation at the end of the day. I'm Kimmy, and I've enjoyed building with my brothers and sisters. You know, it's always a pleasure. Definitely look for me and Terrain YouTube live. We're going to have a live session. You know, if you guys have any questions, you know, feel free to ask us. If we know, we will answer. We don't know everything, but, you know, I'm researching and I'm just building and, you know, giving you what I've discovered, and you can always research on your own. You don't have to take everything I say for face value, you know, because like I said, you know, man knows not by being told, so definitely get your learn on. You know, you can also find us at metaphysics.com, where we provide different types of crystals to help to build up your spiritual defenses. Definitely keep you some sage, keep you some salt around your house, you know, live in love, because love is the law. You know, definitely check out the group Royal Bloodline as usual, where we build on these type of things and we tackle certain issues to better empower our people. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in Royal Bloodline group. And we have a lot going on this year, and I can't wait to share it with you. But, you know, I don't want to put the juices out there too soon. Just, you know, stay on your toes, you know, and stay on your square, and don't let nobody shake your foundation.